bells are ringing on your alarm clock. It's 6 in the morning, man, the race don't stop. I just shit, shower, shave, make it to the station, waiting for the train. Goddamn train late again. Hit the streets and they are seething, ducking, weaving, begging, stealing. Got you.
He's an amazing guitar player.
You're feeling that you want him more. That's how it goes. Living in the city.
Now, what's the name of the band?
John Butler Trio.
The John Butler Trio.
Yes.
Okay. And where do they hail from? Like, how did you hear of them?
They come from Australia. I heard about them. My brother first kind of showed them to me, and I, really kind of, didn't listen to them a lot. And then I had a friend who was really into them, and he showed them to me, and I listened to them more, and I really started liking it. And he ended up wanting to go to Colorado to go see them at Red Rocks.
Oh shit, Red Rocks.
Yeah.
And did you go?
Yeah. Well, he had mentioned it, and I was like, yeah, I could probably go. And then we didn't talk for a little while, and then just a few weeks before he was gonna go, he was like, "Dude, I don't have anybody to go with still." And I was like, "Let me check into it." And I pulled some strings, got out of work, and it's like, "Dude, let's go to Colorado."
Okay, so wait a minute, Colorado. I've only been in Colorado like once, and it was driving through on my way to Vegas for a bachelor party. And the only, outside of driving in between, like, the huge mountains, like, it's gorgeous.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
terrifying, though. Did you drive out there or fly?
We drove. He drove the whole way because he's really weird about his car.
Sure.
But I did. Me and my wife drove to California, and we drove through Colorado. And it was in the springtime, and we hit like a snowstorm right in the mountains, and it was the most terrifying driving experience ever.
Well, I went, I guess, in August, so there was no threat of a snowstorm. Mm-hmm. And I was driving because we used a rental car because we knew we were going to trash the fucker. And I didn't want to put that many miles on my car. Just driving with clear conditions down those 90-degree angle pitches.
Yeah, like you're driving straight down. I felt like,
and there's always a net around this big rock that's catching falling rocks, and it was terrifying to me. I hated it. I mean, it was beautiful at the same time, though. We stopped at a Burger King that was like perched on like a ledge and overlooking like the most beautiful. I could have moved there in that moment.
Beautiful.
It was awesome. So you went to Red Rock. Mm-hmm. Now I've only heard of this. I've seen it on DVD, but there's no way that watching it on a DVD could possibly.
Oh yeah, it doesn't do it justice. It's like a natural rock amphitheater that was built for a concert. Like the way the rock formations are set up is like a perfect straight amphitheater, and the acoustics are amazing, and like the sky is beautiful because you're in the mountains in Colorado.
Sure.
And it's just beautiful open air.
So no man like chiseled off part of the edge of this rock.
No, there's a stage built at the bottom and seats going up. But the whole rest of it is just natural rock. Like they didn't do anything.
So the entire acoustics are
natural,
based on on natural. That see, I've heard of it. I've known a couple of people that have seen a concert there. My biggest concert that I've seen is like at the Riverfront Amphitheater in St. Louis. Like I've never been to something like that, like even Country Fest or anything like that, but. Anyway, that's on my bucket list. Red Rock. So you got that done.
Definitely, like I tell everyone, if you like music, see a show in Red Rocks for sure.
Okay. Well, welcome to the Bill and Joe Show. We are brought to you by RunDumbFun.com. Eleanor will be released soon. Today, if you didn't recognize the voice, I am joined by a friend of mine, Billy. We are co-workers, and I've tried to leave the name of our business out of things, but we're a restaurant business, and we both, from time to time do the same job like we did today, waiting tables. What is your thought process at every table that you approach? What are the pros and the cons of this job, do you think?
Pros definitely is cash in your pocket every day.
Sure.
Definitely. It's I've done it for almost 8 years now, so it's just kind of almost a automatic thing. You don't even have to think about it at this point, and just go in, do my thing, do my spiel, and get him in and out of there.
You said you've been doing it for 8 years. What is the worst situation that you've ever been in when it comes to the service industry?
The worst situation.
Like anybody yell at you for making a drink wrong or bringing the wrong food, or maybe it was like uncomfortable because they were too nice to you. I don't know.
I had a table who got really, and it wasn't even something that I felt that was that big of a deal, but they got extremely irate over and they actually requested a completely different server and didn't want me to serve them anymore.
Whoa!
But I'd gotten double sat, so I basically in that situation, a lot of people just treat it like it's one table. Get the drinks
Right.
for both. So I got drink orders for both of them. Went and got the drinks, brought them back. The first table had sat down. I gave them their drinks and said, "I'll be right back to get your order while I'm going to go drop these drinks off." And went and dropped the drinks off at the other table. And they were ready to order, and they started giving me their order. So I took went and took it and be like, "Okay, get everything out for you." And I come back to the first table. I'm like, "Okay, I can get your order." And she was just not happy because I had taken their order before her because she had sat first. Even if it was 30 seconds before. But she had sat first, so I should have taken their order first. But what she's not realizing is I'm going to ring their orders in at the same time.
Sure.
And bring everything out at the same time.
Sure.
But just that small thing of...
So she didn't even want you to wait on her. She was
After that, she was like, "I want to see a manager. I don't want you to serve me anymore."
Wow.
And they got someone else to serve the table.
Now, where was your head at for the rest of that shift? Because I have to imagine, I guess not, because you strike me as a guy who that shit can just roll off your back. You're just like, whatever.
Yeah, honestly, I'm at the point where I've so many tables have come and gone that I'm like, I'm not going to remember you, in a week.
I know, but
I'm not worried
doesn't
about
it shit in your Cheerios?
It'll
for,
get me. It'll
for
get
how
me
long?
for probably a couple hours the rest of the night. But
the rest of the shift.
yeah, once I leave, work,
You leave that
then,
shit at work.
then I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, and it's a tough job, man.
Oh yeah.
It takes a special kind of personality to be able to do it. But
You gotta, you can't let stuff get to you. You can't take stuff personally. Definitely.
yeah, it's hard to though, man. When especially when you feel like I'm dropping the ball here, like I'm fucking up orders, or I don't take it personally when people are just being obnoxious.
Oh yeah.
You're just
When it's not your fault.
yeah, you everything was perfect for you. You're just complaining just to complain. That doesn't bother me, but it's the times that, maybe I do get a little bit overwhelmed and I forget their extra fucking dressing and that ruins their night.
Do you ever have that moment where you someone asks you for an extra thing of dressing or just something random and you completely forget about it, and then later at night you're laying down for bed and you're like, I never gave them their ranch.
Right. Yes, I do. There have been tables where I'll realize maybe not later at night. I mean that has happened, but there also has been times where I'll give them their check. They'll be like, "Hey, thank you," blah blah blah. They'll leave, and I'll be going to get their check to see how well I did, and I'll be like, "Oh shit, they asked for extra whatever bread, ranch, whatever. I never brought them to you. This is gonna be horrible." And I open it up, and 9 times out of 10, it's a nice tip. It's like, "Oh fuck, I fucked up, and you're not gonna be that guy."
Yeah, that's the reason I feel like I don't even remember till later is they didn't even say anything. They still left me a good tip. They were so
Right.
nice, and then I'm like, oh, I didn't even bring this. And they never even said anything.
Damn it, I didn't bring them their
Yeah.
oil and vinegar that
Horrible.
they asked for. Yeah, I had somebody do that. Do you get the oil and the cheese? Like some places do.
Yeah, some places they do it all fancy and do the whole show about it.
Right.
And so they expect that. And it's like, I'll bring it out for you.
Right. No, we don't do that here. Anyway, we are going to go ahead and take a break. Billy, thank you for filling in this week. I
Thank you for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
We are going to be right back. Billy is thinking about starting up a podcast, and we maybe you have some questions, maybe you don't, maybe you do. Let's talk about podcasts when we come up after the break. Thank you guys for listening to the Bill and Joe Show.
You're listening to the Bill and Joe Show. Whatever.
Have a legal problem and need some serious legal advice? Then you're listening to the wrong podcast.
Any facts we say here are probably wrong.
And
Any analysis of the law should not be followed.
there you go. Reasonable men are here to take a twisted look at the law.
Stack your hayride.
Learn in hand. Best name in law school.
Check us out on iTunes, reasonablemen.com, or on your favorite podcast app.
Reasonable men are back.
All right, guys, we got another podcast for you to check out. It's called the Sitting in the Desert Podcast. You can find it on iTunes and Stitcher. The podcast comes out every Monday and Thursday, so it's twice a week. You get double the trouble, and it's generally based around talking to interesting people about their life experiences and whatnot. You can go to thehempempire.net/podcast, and you can check out the site. And I've listened to a couple of the shows, and it's hilarious. So make sure that you go to the Sitting in the Desert Podcast. TheMillennialEntrepreneur.com. Have you ever considered starting a business? You definitely should. The job market sucks. Pensions are dead, and a college degree, it really doesn't mean that much anymore. We have an access to free resources, information, and the support of others. And why wouldn't you want to start a business? Now, I mean, this has to do a lot with me personally. I've tried to start 2 small businesses. One was a bar, one was a recording studio. And it's a tough job. I mean, it's not easy to start your own business, and both of mine ended up failing. I mean, the second one kind of stayed afloat, but eventually sank. And it's tough. It's not easy. It's not for everyone, and nothing is guaranteed, and that's the hardest part. But what's life without a little risk? If you're looking for inspiration in raw startup stories, tune in twice a week to the Millennial Entrepreneur Podcast. You'll hear a new story on how someone got their start and turned it into a thriving business. Check it out, themillennialentrepreneur.com. How many of us have gone to see a psychic or called or been to physically one? Me and Danielle tried this one time when we were in downtown Chicago, and it was an awesome experience. This one, look up Psychic Ariel. Ariel like the Little Mermaid, Ariel. 10 years experience in the business. She has a mobile app, and if you want to call her, 702-980-4653, and you use the code Bill and Joe, you will get 1 free question, free of charge, nothing going on. It is an awesome opportunity for you to at least try it out. So go search for Psychic Ariel in the podcast store, or give her a call at 702-980-4653.
You're listening to the Bill and Joe Show. Whatever.
And welcome back to the Bill and Joe Show. I, again, am joined by Billy, a friend of mine, co-worker. First time that hung out outside of work.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different being able to hear each other's voices in like 360.
Yeah. That's you turned it on. It's like, oh, I'm on a podcast.
So you've been talking about wanting to do a podcast.
Yeah.
Of your own. Like, what are your concerns, thoughts?
Well, I've been listening to him for a while now and gotten really into a lot of different podcasts, and just thought it's something I'd really like to do. I'm a big, huge fan of Star Wars, so I've always thought of trying to do something with that, but there's a lot of Star Wars podcasts already, so I'm just trying to think of something different I could do with it.
Okay. So we were talking earlier, and you mentioned that Boba Fett is your favorite character. Yeah. Now, why? I guess is my question.
He is. I've been asked this question before. One of the reasons, definitely, if you watch the movies, he's the only person besides maybe like the Emperor that isn't afraid of Darth Vader. Like when they interact, like he's not. He's like, I'm just here for the money. Like I don't, care what you have to say. I'm just going to do what I have to do. And